Hello everyone, Judgestalker here, and today guys I'm gonna review one of my mocks from our Project S. So remember, the Project S is a project me and my friend Shadow we had, and in this project we had to in fact remake or revamp all the 12 slicer sets released between 1999 and the year 2000 in a more recent canister sized set, or at least mock, of course, form, if I can say so. So today I'm gonna review one of the one I make, so one of the one I made, excuse me, and it's gonna be Judge. So this one was made by me, and well, here as you can see, he is in what I call his cloak mode, in fact, or cape mode. So yes, because that was one of the main ideas I had when I first built Judge some time ago, the original slicer set, because it's got some kind of body frame, which in fact well, it's got a kind of a special body frame, which in fact makes his wings kind of like look like a cloak. In fact, so I really got this idea for some mocks. I really wanted to have some mock with a big cloak which can transform in some kind of wings, and of course I will use this idea for the revamp of Judge. So I'm not really sure if you have understood me, but what you see there is it's cloak mode, but of course it's cloak, not clock like the time, but cloak or cape mode, which can in fact transform in his wings mode, so like the original slicer. Well, the original slicer cannot transform but got wings. And here we go. And here you got the wings mode. So I'm just gonna put him apart so it will be easier for me to explain how this model works. And well, I'm gonna explain you how I built this guy. And as you will see, it's not really that complicated. So first of all, you have an vacuum pelvis right here, plus some slicer foot part put on it to add some more details, and of course some more yellow color. So of course the color scheme on this one is black and all yellow like the original slicer model, so no kit orange used here. So you have this part right here. On the back you got an wax's back, which is used as well the end of the rear part of the cloak, if I can say so. Well, you can also say it's a part of his skirt, so kind of like one of my warlord, which was called Kyriage, and got the same parts used on the back. And I will use this technique because I really found it really looked great. And then on this vacuum pelvis part, you also have this T-shape part, which would be useful, of course, to link the upper section of the body. Then on the side, you got two ball joints with two connectors, and then some little or small technique panels part, which was also one of my ideas, because this one is the second version of this of the Judge mug, because well, I made the first version, but I wasn't really pleased at all with this version, so I begin from scratch, in fact, the model, and with the second version, I really decided to put a major focus on this panels part. So you have two here, and also you got two there on the legs. So the legs also are made, in fact, thanks to two long double long connector. Then I put some older foot on there, because yes, one of the other idea was really to have some, and also that was an idea I also got with one of my warlord called Jazz, I think she's called like that. A strange name, by the way, but a white one. Well, the idea was to have really a large waist and really little feet, in fact, little feet. So to have something big which really become thin with the end of the leg, by the end of the leg, by the way. So this means using some big older foot right here, also adding some ball joint, plus well, kind of the same technique used right here, but this time with a T-shaped part, and well, a slicer foot again. So it's mean adding some yellow overall color scheme, so it worked quite nice. Then adding also some technique panels on this section, which kind of are still kind of loose, so that's quite a problem, I have to say. And on the back, to the little details, add some metro leg armor. Then to continue on this idea of thin leg, I of course put some waxy legs, which are in all yellow, and also that's I think one of the only all yellow arms or legs. We have those metro leg, which is in yellow, but that was with Meltdown. in the Hero Factory line, of course. So this part, and then to continue, I put here some Visorak part. And then for the feet itself, I first put some Borak, foot right here, and then add some, this little part really have some thin stuff. Well, not to have really some thin feet, yes. And then a slicer foot at the end to help him to pose, because of course, one of my main idea was just to have this part like this. But of course, I think it would have been able to stand. But it will be quite hard, I think, to pose the model, so I tried to add some height heels, well, which can be compared to some height heels, I guess, on the back to help him to pose, in fact. Because it's always a problem when I take photos and the model keep falling off every 2 seconds, or I have to take like 12 minutes to pose the mock in one pose without him falling off. So that's why I added this part. So that was for for the leg section. It's really for the legs section. And now for the upper one. So I'm gonna put off the wings first, and maybe this. Well, if I can put off this part, the 2 arms. And here we go. So in fact, it's quite easy to understand when I put off this metal foot. So all the frame is made thanks to this little 3 parts. So first of all, the T-shape part, which is of course useful to link it to the lower part, but we're gonna see that later on. Then adding some axle and putting these 2 parts right here, which will be really useful in fact, because they will be useful to link all the other body parts. So for example, like the little Borak eyes, on the side, which are useful to fill the void when you look on the side of the model, and also which follow pretty nice the overall shape of the Enika foot behind. Then adding these 2 little pins on this all to add the 2 foot, of course the one on the front, which is a mature one, plus some slicer foot in yellow to add the other color scheme, and on the back it's an Enika one. And then finally using this axle hole to add an axle, of course, obviously, and then of course the Ordica neck plus connector, and then the slicer head, which is linked thanks to this technique build you have already seen with our previous slicer's mocks, and of course these 2 parts will be useful to link the arms. But for now, I'm gonna just link the front foot right here. Also notice on the back you have this big technique panels part, which are useful to make the cloak. In fact, the cloak work. And then you have the arms, which are pretty simple. So I have this little part to link it to the overall model. Then you've got a technique panel with some yellow pipe to add to the overall color scheme, and then you have the arm mounted on a 2006 ball joint. So I put some little double connectors, as you can see right here, then some metal-like protection and some Borak eye. I really want something thin and not really complicated, so that's why I choose these 2 parts. Then you have again the Wakshi leg, used as arm of course this time, and some new Maui armor, I guess, tight armor, which are also used as armor by the way, because they kind of go the same, as you can see, it follows the same line as the Wakshi legs, in fact. And then your typical hands, which are made with slicer foot. So I'm gonna link these 2 parts right here, because of course the 2 arms are exactly the same, excuse me. So I think that's quite all, and yes, of course, you got then the wings part, which is right here, and well, you have some yellow parts, excuse me, you have some yellow parts which will be useful to be linked on the Enika foot. Then I put some vacuum pelvis part to have two ball joints to link them the two wings. So the idea, the concept idea behind the wings was from me, and then Shadow made this possible. In fact, made this with other parts. So the idea is to have a ball joint, then a long technique panel. As you can see, a large one. Then Shadow really like to use this little part, so which with one axle hole and other side it's a pin hole. So it's really useful to have some nice rotation point. So that's what he used, so two of them, then he put a thinner technique panel plus the slicer throwing disc arm, as you can see, mounted on a technique on a Titan's ball joint, Titan connector, excuse me. And then he used the same technique, so this means the same two little parts, and finally he used another type, well, I told him to use this type of technique panel, which is a smaller one. And he put the propeller to have some, of course, because the propeller were on the original Slicer's wings. And they look pretty good, and well, it's really, in fact, he just put the parts in all of the parts, so they are not really any complicated technique with this, how the propellers are put. Then I'm going to link this part, and that's all, in fact, for the wings. I'm going to put this part on the Inika foot, like this, and finally link the two body section, or at least the two judge sections, the upper one and the lower one. And well, that's all I'm thinking. I'm gonna maybe put him in his wing mode. Trying to do something nice. Like this. And then I'm thinking I'm gonna explain you how the articulations works on this model. So, excuse me. So first of all, you got the legs. So they can goes up this way, not really that much, in fact, because of the ball joint plus technique panel on this side, so you can move this connector, but you won't go far with the legs. But then on the other point, on the shoulder section, there are no, not the shoulder, excuse me, the knee section, of course, there are no problem, and it can go this way. For example, do this type of pose. The foot, excuse me, can of course turn in right here, as you can see, but in fact they're really supposed to stay right there, but you can still turn them on this side. It will be easier to pose the model then. And then you have the arms, which can in fact goes all the way up, and you can see what is quite cool is that the shoulder pad follows the movement of the arm, so there are no problem from the shoulder pad. And it's quite interesting, I found. Then this part can turn kind of a little more than 90 degrees, the elbow section, and well, no problem with the hands also. The head then, excuse me, it's some 2001 ball joint, and because there are tons of parts which follows, which not follows but touch, which sometimes they fall off. Excuse me. And then you have the head, which can well, look up. Not really that, not down. In fact, you can't. The head can't really look down, and on the side without any problem. And then you have the wings. So of course, you got two ball joints right here, and then you have got like 4 points of rotation. So one here, one there. Yes, you can. Well, in fact, you got like 3 points of rotation, because you got this one, then this one, and also this one. And the same goes, well, the same goes for this part. This means we got like 6 points of rotation in the wings plus the ball joint. But again, it's just really helpful to make the clock mode works and also the wings mode work. And I think that's quite awesome. I'm gonna maybe try to make a pose with this guy. I'm not gonna pretend it's gonna be easy, because even if there are not really big problem to pose him in a standstill pose, like just a neutral pose, it's quite, of course, it takes more time to make him to put him in a more complex pose. because of the weight of the wings, for example, and also the fact that the feet, excuse me, are really special. Oh yes, and of course in the articulation section you got like 2 ball joint, 1 ball joint per throwing disc arm, and you can, if you want, launch this like this, for example. And well, I think that's quite all for the model, so maybe I'm gonna make him look at the camera. Yeah, like this. And well, that's all, guys. So hope you enjoyed this review of this mug. So personally, well, even if it's my second try at this mug, I'm still not really all satisfied with this one. I have some points that really annoy me, and like the parts which keeps moving in other ways, stuff which can keep turning, and the fact also it really got tons of parts on the body section, on the body, on the wings, and the legs, and so this means sometimes it's quite hard to pose without moving tons of parts at the same time. So that's quite a problem. I'm not also really a big fan of the position of the head and stuff like that. So it's not perfect. I think I could have done it again in a better way, even if it's my second try. And well, I think that's all for my own opinion on one of my mock. But then, of course, it's up to you to ask me questions or post comments on or post your opinion on this mock. So tell me what you think about it, if you have any question or just advice and stuff like that. Feel free to post in the comment section. Of course, I will try to answer your comments. And well, that's quite all. So hope you enjoyed this review. Hope you enjoyed this mock, and see you later for another Bionicle video review. Bye bye.